What is up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome back to another video at Axe Entertainment. I am your host, Zach Axe, bringing you my predictions for the 2025 Money in the Bank PLE. Now, I went back and forth for a while trying to debate where I was going to put Money in the Bank predictions, or predictions in general, whether I was going to put it on YouTube or TikTok, and I ended up going with YouTube for reasons. Now, I'm recording this video on Tuesday, and as of right now, we only have 4 matches confirmed. Maybe they'll add a US title match, or maybe they'll add a different match, and if they do, I'll add my predictions in the comments for that match so you guys can see my full predictions once that match gets added, if there is another match added. But let's get right into my predictions of what's going to happen at Money in the Bank. We're going to start off with a women's Money in the Bank match between Naomi, Alexa Bliss, Rhea Ripley, Julia, Stephanie Vauquer, and Roxanne Perez. Now, this match has me excited for so many different reasons. Now, all 6 of these women are in my top 20 women. Well, actually, fun fact, video of my top 20 women's wrestlers coming out soon. I have to remake it. I'm actually going to do that here soon, but be on the lookout for that. Anyways, all these women are my top 20 active wrestlers, like almost period, like not even men or women. I love all 6 of these women. I'm really excited to see what they can do in this match. We have Alexa Bliss coming back after, a bit of a hiatus, it was like 2 years. A longer hiatus, and now she comes back and she has the opportunity to jump right back into the main event scene. We have Naomi, who I feel like would be the perfect option because Naomi just has this new heel character, and I think Money in the Bank would suit her really well. We have Rhea Ripley, whose main claim to winning this title, or this accomplishment, which she doesn't need it because she's really, a main eventer bona fide through and through. She doesn't need this accomplishment, but WWE would definitely wants to sell that merch if she was to win that says, Mommy in the Bank, because that's she came up on Raw and she was talking about Mommy in the Bank, and I could see that immediately getting sold. But I thought the same thing last year with Jey Uso when he was supposed to win Money in the Bank, or we all thought he was going to win Money in the Bank because he was trying to sell Yeet in the Bank, and I thought that was going to be a plot device to sell more merch, but it wasn't. So maybe they're doing the same thing this year with Rhea Ripley. Now we get to the 3 that got immediate pushes coming in to WWE. They all debuted within the last month onto the actual roster, actually in the last couple weeks, and that is we have Roxanne Perez, Julia, and Stephanie Vauquer. And I will start with Roxanne Perez. Roxanne Perez is an amazing winner for this briefcase because she has a character right now that fits it perfectly, and I think with her whole feud with Liv Morgan, this would kind of be perfect because it's not a feud, but not really a feud, but it'd be perfect to give her this accomplishment because she could rub it in Liv Morgan's face, because Liv Morgan is so hell-bent on getting into, the main event scene again and getting her title back, that if Roxanne Perez has a device that can immediately give her a title shot, it would, I think, cause more tension between her and Liv Morgan. Then we also have Stephanie Vauquer, who just recently, had her first match as a member of the Raw roster, and she wins, picks up a huge win over Liv and Ivy Nile. Now, Stephanie, honestly, just give her the briefcase. I don't care. I love Stephanie Vauquer. I want her to succeed, and if we give her the briefcase, that's completely okay with me. I didn't even have her in my Money in the Bank video because I didn't think there was any chance that she was going to move up and get into Money in the Bank, and now she does. Now she's pulling double duty, and I would not mind if Stephanie Vauquer won this. Same thing with Julia. Julia is probably, I'd say, one of the most interesting women if she was to win Money in the Bank, because I think she kind of could have a Shinsuke-like gimmick where if she is, stays heel, she could just be talking hella crap backstage with that briefcase and vignettes, and I think she would be a great Money in the Bank winner also. At the end of the day, it comes down to 2 women that I think have the best chances of winning this, being Naomi and Roxanne Perez, and I was between those 2 going back and forth. And it's really hard to tell right now because WWE is pushing the younger women hard. Like, as soon as those 3 came up, they're already all 3 in Money in the Bank. So there is a great chance they give it to Roxanne Perez. But at the end of the day, I'm going to go with Naomi winning this. I just think her character would fit the best. I think that she has so many ready-made storylines while holding that briefcase that I could see them giving it to Naomi. So my final prediction for this match is going to be Naomi. Next up, we have the Women's Intercontinental Championship match between Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria in a rematch from Backlash. Now, this match, honestly, I am more excited for than I was their Backlash match, because I think the build here has been so much more entertaining and so much better, because now Becky is in full swing with this character where she's saying, oh, you think I'm Becky Hogan, you think I'm the one that's trying to hold these younger women down. Well, guess what? I wasn't, but now I am. I'm going to try and prove you right. I'm going to try to hold these younger women down. She's in full swing with that character right now. She's also in kind of the swing of delusional, where she's the one that attacked Lyra, but Lyra's the one that turned her back on Becky, and that doesn't make too much sense. But Lyra gets to shine, and her promo on Raw, her confidence level, I feel like, is through the roof right now, and I love that, because Lyra deserves to be in the next level of women's talent, the top of the card, and she is showing it here against Becky. I think maybe she just definitely hasn't had a storyline like at all to build off of before this Becky Lynch storyline, and now she's getting to build her confidence up. Her confidence seems so high. Her promo on Raw with Becky was absolutely amazing. Becky held her own in that promo too, which of course Becky is one of the best female talkers on the microphone. And both these women, honestly, are getting me more excited for this match than I was for Backlash, which I was excited for Backlash too, because these two women are both in my top 10, probably of all time, women's wrestlers. So I'm way more excited for this match than I was their other one. I was still excited for their other one, but this one seems like it has so much more story, so much more build, and I think they're going to put on a better match that will eclipse their Backlash match. But at the end of the day, I think this is where we're going to finally give that title to Becky. I'm not going to mind if we're going to give it to Lyra or keep it on Lyra, because I love Lyra and she's flourishing right now with that title, but I also want to see Lyra make those next steps to somewhere we've already seen Becky be before. So I would absolutely love to see Becky win this title and then send Lyra maybe, up into the main card with, Liv and Rhea and Io, and have great matches right there. So, and then we also give Becky Lynch another notch on her belt. So I think I said it at Backlash that I thought that was where we're going to give Becky the title, but I'm glad we continued this feud. I'm glad this feud is getting to stand on its legs and it didn't just get cut out from underneath it. This feud is so entertaining, and give me Becky Lynch taking the title off of Lyra Valkyria. Next up, we have a match between the WWE Champion John Cena teaming with Logan Paul to take on the World Heavyweight Champion Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes. Now, this match has me so in the middle. On one hand, yeah, it's 4 huge names. They're probably going to have a pretty decent match. But on the other hand, the build was so lackluster. It feels like it was just announced out of the blue, because it was. There was no build at all before we had the match. Cody just came out to save Jey Uso, and then we had the match. And then we had the whole promo on SmackDown with all 4 of them, and they didn't really sell you on the match too much. And then on Monday Night Raw passes, and we have no build at all towards this match whatsoever. No Logan Paul, no Cody Rhodes, no John Cena on Raw, just Jey Uso continuing his feud with Seth and his group. So we had no build for this match on Raw. Hopefully on SmackDown we get all 4 of them again, give them more time to do whatever. I don't care, honestly. Whatever you do has to be better than what you've done so far. And there's the whole intrigue of this match right now is Cena versus Cody and Logan versus Jey. There's no intrigue at all between the 4 men altogether. And it just feels like this match was thrown together for the sake of being a match. And having both world champions in this match, it should feel so much bigger than it is. And I think that they've done a terrible job at building this match, and I'm not that excited for it. I do think John Cena and Logan Paul are going to win this match, because I think we're continuing the story of Jey Uso just getting absolutely obliterated before his match with Gunther. So we had on Raw, Jey Uso got beat up by Bronson Reed, got 2 tsunamis by Bronson Reed after he already had a match, and then after he came out to make the save, he was just getting beat up left, right, and center on Raw. And then I think come Money in the Bank, he's going to get beat up again, and that's going to be the reason that they end up losing. I could honestly see Jey Uso taking the pin in this match. Now, as much as I want to say Logan Paul should be the guy taking the pin in this match, it's going to be Paul or Uso. I don't see them pinning Cody or Cena in this match. So, let me go on record for saying that if Cody and Jey win, 100% Logan Paul is getting pinned. But I think Logan and Cena are going to win by pinning Jey, because Jey's just so beat down, and that's how we're going to continue to sell the storyline heading into Monday's match against Gunther for Jey Uso, where he has to defend that title after being beat down by Seth, Bronson, Braun, Logan, and Cena. Last up, we have the men's Money in the Bank between Solo Sikoa, Andrade. Next up, and finally, we have the Finally, we have the men's Money in the Bank match between Solo Sikoa, LA Knight, Andrade, El Grande Americano, Seth Rollins, and Penta. Now, this is a match that's got me intrigued. You're going to hear a lot about the El Grande Americano victory and getting into this match on weekly awards coming up, so I'm not going to talk about that here. I'm just going to talk about strictly the match. And these are 6 great workers. There's not a single like weak part weak part of this match. I think the problem is you're lacking kind of star power in this match, because LA Knight and Seth Rollins are your only like real star power-esque guys. Because you got, Solo hasn't done the best in getting built up. You got El Grande, who just I don't see winning at all. You have Andrade, who is kind of, I guess you could say, a wild card, because there's always that chance that he wins. And then you have Penta, who just seems like he's there to do the high-flying stuff. So if I had to guess in this match, I'm seeing right now Penta and El Grande taking each other out one way or another. Like whether it's some crazy spot or something, I see these two being out of the match because of each other, and that leaves the final 4. Which, this honestly is a perfect moment, because WWE could pull a swerve in any way, shape, or form, because everybody only sees Seth Rollins or LA Knight being the winners of this match. They could give this briefcase to Andrade, and I think that would be a great pick. I think Andrade would be, like I said, the wild card, and then we could actually see him build character with the briefcase. They could give it to El Grande Americano. I don't want to see it, but it could happen. That would be a huge swerve. They could give it to Solo Sikoa, and I think he'd probably be maybe one of the easiest ones to sell as Money in the Bank, because he's already a heel, and because he already has, relationships built at the top of the card. Then we have Penta, who I can't see him holding the briefcase. I don't see him cashing in. I just can't see anything with the Penta character actually having that Money in the Bank briefcase, so I don't see them doing that one. So let me just get back to what I was saying. I see Penta and Grande taking each other out, leaving the final 4. And as much as I want to say Andrade or like something, just like a crazy off the wall answer, I am between Seth and LA Knight, and I think we're going to finally do it. I think we're finally going to give the briefcase to LA Knight. It has been 3 years now of LA Knight getting screwed over in the Money in the Bank ladder match. First it was for Damian Priest, now it's for Drew McIntyre. Now this year, I don't want to see him get screwed over for Seth Rollins, simply because of the fact that I feel like LA Knight can't just get in the title picture right now if he wanted to, but I feel that Seth Rollins is 100% engraved into the World Championship picture. Seth Rollins already had a shot at the World Heavyweight Championship. He's going to have multiple shots at the World Heavyweight Championship, and I think that he just doesn't need the Money in the Bank, even though it would be a great plot device to further his feuds with Jey Uso, with, Sami Zayn, CM Punk, the top of the card. But LA Knight, I think winning this, accomplishment would be huge, because that would get him out of the U.S. title picture, which it feels like he is stranded in firmly right now, and that could honestly move him over to Raw, which actually I just said a couple weeks ago in the Money in the Bank who should win and who shouldn't. I said LA Knight should win and get out of the U.S. title division by moving to Monday Night Raw, because if he just holds this title on SmackDown, but trying to come out and cash in on John Cena, I don't think he's going to do much for his popularity, because despite being a heel, John Cena is one of the most popular guys in WWE. So I think giving LA Knight this Money in the Bank and sending him over to Raw, and then after, presumably, Gunther takes this title from Jey Uso, because that's kind of what it looks like the seeds are being planted towards, we could see LA Knight constantly trying to cash in on Gunther, or maybe even just outright cashing in on Gunther on Monday. I think the pop after Gunther holds this title, or has this title for no matter what amount of time, I think a pop for LA Knight would be absolutely insane to him coming out to cash in for the World Heavyweight Championship, especially if you're not expecting him on Monday Night Raw, because he's on SmackDown. Now, I'm not saying I want him to move to Raw right away. I think he should stay on SmackDown with the briefcase and kind of maybe act like he's going to cash in, or just kind of talk hella smack before he has the big surprise coming out on Raw to cash in on Gunther. So, at the end of the day, I want LA Knight to win. I'm picking LA Knight to win. I hope LA Knight wins. Let's go LA Knight. Now, like I said, this is probably not all the matches. We'll probably get 1 or 2 more added. Most likely 1 more. WWE really likes the 5-match PLE system, so I'm sure that we will see 1 more match added probably on Friday Night SmackDown. So when that match gets added, go check the comments for my review or my prediction on that one. And then, of course, on either Sunday or Monday, most likely Monday, we will have the full ranking and review, the R&R of Money in the Bank. So go check that out when it does come out. If you want to see who my favorite wrestlers currently in the WWE are right now, we have the men's already out with the women's soon to come. And I just hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe. Let me know your predictions for Money in the Bank in the comments, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
This happened if I had real tough love, I'm bad at this, and I'm bad for this.
Narcissistic tendencies, I don't care about no one else. Narcissistic tendencies, I'm low, so set me on the shelf. Few people ever have my back, yeah, there ain't no doubt about that.